Hello everybody, this is Henry's Coffee Shop Talk. My topic's going to be about hostile work environment and what that is and what causes that. And this ain't because people are whining about it. It's because I don't agree with it and I haven't my whole life. As a young sailor growing up, I know some things that were hostile and that weren't fair to people. I saw what people wrote on the bathroom walls and on the toilet paper about another person, and it affects them emotionally. It creates a hostile work environment. It's like your house getting robbed by a stranger, and you don't know who it is, and come to find out the stranger is a relative, right, or somebody you knew. That feeling and that despair and that removal of your essence and who you are is terrible. So if you got a coworker that's writing graffiti on the walls, toilet paper, hateful things, derogatory things, spiteful things, inaccurate things against you, it's a type of violation that you can't explain. If you're not the recipient of it, you can't explain it. It's like I couldn't explain what being raped was if I was never raped. But I can explain to you when I've been robbed before. I've had my brothers rob me, right? I know what the feeling is when somebody steals from me. I had money stolen from me. So when you write graffiti and you create a hostile work environment, it's almost the same feeling that somebody has just took your character and pulled it out of your spine. If you're that person doing that, you need to stop it. If you know somebody that's doing it, you need to tell them to stop. If the supervisor and you know that somebody's doing it or reports it to you, you need to report it and fix it. I won't tolerate it. I see it in the bathrooms, the graffiti, and some of the stuff said about people all the time, and I report it to get it removed, erased, and eradicated because it destroys the work environment. It's very hostile to the work environment. It's very detrimental to people's feelings and who they are. You could say, oh, they can suck it up. It's just a joke. It's not a joke. Okay? You, the person doing it, is the joke. You doing it to somebody else, and you're not the victim of it, you can't say, oh, it's just a joke and they need to suck it up. I've heard that. I've heard people say it. I've heard people say, it's harmless. It's not harmless. I've never been a direct victim of it. I had my qual card stolen and they wrote Mickey Mouse on it. I had my charge book as a chief broken into a locker and stolen, and they wrote some shit in it. Some stuff I wouldn't even thought they would put in my book. Some people did some nasty things. But once they knew I stood my ground and I didn't put up with it, and whoever did it, I handled it very professionally. I handled it very, very sternly. And I tried not to, when I was in charge of my division and the commands I was at, to allow it. It's a type of hazing that makes it a hostile work environment, and then it escalates. And it'll escalate from writing graffiti, saying shit, to openness, to touching, to personally violating somebody and going beyond. There's always a segue to something. Just like hard drugs, the segue to hard drugs is marijuana. You may not agree with it, and you might say something in my coffee shop, but you go screw yourself, because I got two brothers, or at least one brother, fully addicted to marijuana and been addicted to drugs his whole life. In fact, it's pretty sad. I'm at my father and mother's funeral. He was so addicted to it that he had to go do that instead of being at the wake or handling what my parents were going through, what my parents went through. So it's that escalation that I'm comparing it to hazing. There's always a start to something. There's always a beginning. There's always that little salesman knocking on a door, opening, cracking, getting yourself in there before you're full-blown assaulting somebody and it's out of control. And it starts with the graffiti, with written hazing. Then it goes to verbal, and then it can even escalate to physical. But if you're the perpetrator doing it, writing the graffiti, causing a hostile work environment, I've seen it over my time frame. I saw it everywhere I went. I saw it in the bathrooms. And I always took that extra step to eradicate it. I still do. I'm still that opponent of people that shouldn't have to put up with somebody else making nasty, snide, dirty comments. Some of it go down the sexual track, which I don't understand why. I don't understand the mindset and the sickness that a person has to even do that. So if you respect me as Henry, and a lot of you know me and a lot of you will listen to this, you need to look in your workspace if you're a supervisor, and you need to figure out how to eradicate it, not support it, and don't be part of it. Because if you're part of it, then you should go too. So I empower supervisors around me, wherever I'm at, wherever I work, to go and eradicate that type of hazing on toilet paper walls, on toilet paper, on the walls, wherever you work, inside your workspace. You need to eradicate it, and you need to not support it. You need to openly say it's got to be not tolerated and openly talk it to your employees. Some companies openly even talk about it, have training on it. And that signed training is an indicator to the people that you've done the training that you have been made aware that graffiti or anything hostile to somebody else is not tolerated, and you can be let go. So I want to empower the big supervisors all the way down to the work leaders, whatever you want to label your people, that you need to really get engaged and not allow it to happen. It's bad enough it happens on the internet and nobody does anything about it. I see it daily. I see it daily on social media, and it's sickening. I call those people asshats because it's sickening, it's degrading, and if you don't want to wear that title of an asshat, then don't do it. Don't belittle and degrade somebody else and use their name in your attacks at the workspace. This goes for anybody anywhere on this flicking planet. One day, those people that do that will run across the wrong person, and it won't be good. That's how that escalates. You might think it's funny, but the people you're doing it to do not take it or receive it as being funny. Some people shrug it off, but deep down in their mind, their morality kicks in, and it bothers them. You should have respect for that. You should have respect for anybody else's personal space, who their character is and what they are, and not attack it in that formal way in graffiti or any kind of letters, verbal, emails, social media. Just think about it before you write it down on a wall or somebody's on toilet paper that somebody else can see it. You don't need to get that little giggle on somebody. It's not that funny. It causes a hostile work environment, and people don't want to be around it. And once people find out you're the one that's doing it, because a lot of times people can tell by your handwriting who it is. It's not that hard. It's a small place. People can figure things out, and they'll learn it. And then you got to deal with that outcome. So my coffee shop talk is, don't create a hostile work environment if you don't have to. Be positive about it and try to make it a good work environment. Got a bad enough negative to deal with out there. We don't need more on the work site of where we work. Keep that in mind. Be mindful of somebody else's feelings and who they are. All right, that's my coffee shop today. Stop making a hostile work environment by writing graffiti and stuff you shouldn't write on, or damaging equipment that's not yours that you didn't pay for. Be thankful what you're given and what you can do and how much you make. Be thankful of the fact that you're not overseas right now in the battles and wars and people shooting rockets at each other and killing each other. Be thankful that a drone's not sneaking up behind you and blowing you in oblivion and you don't even know it's coming. But somebody behind the drone eyes sees it and don't have any feelings that they just killed another human life with it. I've seen it online, and it's disturbing. Don't be those people. Don't be that hateful. All right? I wish peace on earth. I wish the wars would stop. I wish people would be dying senselessly. I wish people would have a better intent with their manpower, with their people, and promote happiness and peace and prosperity for every human being that walks this planet. All right, that's my coffee shop talk, and I'm out. Don't keep creating a hostile work environment. Take the time and take some pride in yourself and fix it. All right, and stop attacking somebody else. All right, thank you, and have a good day.